Hey, sweetheart, welcome in. So, I said I was going to build an apartment. That's what today is. It is, however, industrial, and it's a studio, so it's not my normal style. But either way, we're going to get right into it, and we'll talk about it once we're there. Okay, so this is in the 910 Medina Studio apartment. It's the one Salim lives in. It's that needs TLC one in the art district. And I've made it very expensive for what it is. It is, I have it at 40K. It's actually 40K, and then 56 Simoleons. Is that expensive? Yeah, but normally I feel like industrial stuff in this game turns out expensive. It's like paying a lot to make it look like you didn't pay a lot. But I was really inspired by that dine out brick, and then the base game counters with the wooden countertops and the metal. You can see here I tried to start with the bedroom and it just wasn't working. So now we're going to move to the kitchen, and this is maybe one of my favorite kitchens ever, like that I've done. I know a lot of people don't like these counters, but I really like them. I enjoy what they're trying to do. I feel like if we had more industrial type stuff in the base game, people would like them more, because I love them. I think they're really nice. I like the wood texture. I wish we had more butcher block looking counters in this game. We do not. But I have that metal, yeah, most fridges are metal in the game actually, but that black metal with the stainless steel edging fridge. I did some of those metal dine out shelves as like open shelving instead of using cabinets, since those, why don't those counters have a matching cabinet? Maybe they do and I missed it. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I'm pretty sure they don't have a matching a matching cabinet for the counter, which is kind of lame. But you can see here I spent forever stocking these shelves, which is actually a lie. This build only took me 58 minutes start to finish. This sped up. I haven't cut anything out of this. I probably will of the voiceover and end up cutting something out like a little bit to make it line back up, but there is nothing cut out. It was a really quick build. I did it kind of last minute. I'm actually working on one of the two builds for next month already. The plan is to make a fairy village out of mushrooms. Very excited about this plan, except for the fact that I cannot find a lot I like. I've started it over like twice now, and I want to get it done before Beltane, which is May 1st, and I'm filming this on 26th? 27th. I'm filming this on May 27th, and I want it done, not May 27th, April 27th. I want it done by May 1st, so that's like the plan this week, but I also have dinner plans and stuff I'm gonna try and get to. So it's just a fun little game of making sure I have things done. Circle walls are the death of me, so when I do post this, I expect a round of applause for everyone I know personally for getting through it without crying, because I hate the round walls. But back to this build, I redid this mug shelf I think 2 or 3 times. It was kind of infuriating to get correct, but I really like how it came out. I like the color scheme of this build. It's very like warm tones, but then black and silver, and like that sort of cool gray wall that kind of breaks it up. I have a little like bookshelf section above the fridge. Technically that'd be functional if it was lower. Your Sims cannot reach that. That's just there as clutter. I don't actually think I have a functional bookshelf in this apartment. I probably should have put one, but I feel like it was more so like an artist apartment and they weren't really focused on that. I say that I didn't put an easel either. I have a guitar. In my head, this is probably a musician, even though I know that's not who would live in it based off of where I put the apartment. But I I do imagine it being some sort of musician, not a celebrity apartment. Like, they're starting out, they might be like indie, maybe they're trending on TikTok or something, you know, that type of celebrity where they're like more of a micro influencer. But yeah, I love this dine out brick, and I feel like I don't use it enough. It's like, it's so pretty. It's actually a very like realistic looking dingy brick to me. I'm a big fan. But you can see here, I've moved on to the living room, and I hit the industrial sort tab a couple times. That tab is so useless. There's nothing under there if you don't have eco lifestyle. Which was part of why I built this. I keep going back and forth on eco lifestyle because I want the build stuff and I like the cast stuff, but I don't care for the gameplay that comes with it. Like, I'm never going to use fabrication. I don't really care to clean up the world. Like, I don't use that function of island living, so why would I use it in another pack? And I have enough packs. I mean, there's 25 used in this apartment alone, and it is a 9x9 apartment. How many packs do you possibly need? I have all but 2 stuff packs and all but 2 game packs, and then I'm missing 3 expansions. Really, the kits are the only ones I don't have a lot of. But it's like, I don't know, I keep looking at eco lifestyle because I love the hair with like the clips and beads in it, and I love the plants that come with it, like the indoor plants. I think the idea of the meat wall and stuff is really fun. Just, again, I'm never gonna play in that world, and I know no one who owns the pack says they play in the world, but like, I don't like it. I think the world is really dingy, and when it's not dingy, it looks very gentrified, and I wish it had like a middle ground, like a better but not ultra modern area. But I think the townies in it are fun, and I think the build stuff is fun, so I might eventually get it, even though it's not my gameplay style. And this was kind of me playing around to see if I think I'd like it. Like, if I could build something industrial, I'm allowed to have it. So that is the thought process here. I don't know for sure I love it enough to let myself buy the pack yet, but I do really like this apartment. I watched a lot of Honor Among Thieves interviews while building this too. I love that movie. I really hope it gets a sequel. I want to learn to play D&D because of it, but I think I do really bad, and I don't know anyone who plays. I know of someone who plays, but that don't really want to get involved with that. And then I use those the Blooming Rooms little hanging plants. I thought they worked really well. I wish we had a couple more swatches on there because I don't love the purple plants being the backward ones. But the plants were too obviously the exact same plant otherwise. But what are you gonna do about that? You can't really do much. I also don't know for sure I love that bed. I think that's a business and hobbies one, but I think it fit the best. And instead of a dresser, I'm using a clothing rack to kind of break up the space. I feel like that's really realistic. I think if you lived somewhere this small, you would break up your spaces with stuff like that. I know a lot of like YouTubers who lived in studios, at least if they did like clothing videos, would have clothing racks breaking up their space, so I felt like it was realistic. Here's that guitar I mentioned earlier. And now, once we clutter those nightstands and pick a rug out, which I layered 2 of the vintage glamour ones for, I don't know if I love that, but I do think it was the best option. It matches the wall really well. But once we clutter these nightstands, we're moving to the bathroom, and I think that's where finding industrial stuff got the most annoying. Why some of the sinks that should be marked as industrial are not, and some of the ones that would have been really fun for this apartment, like I wanted to use the laundry day one. That was what I wanted, but you can't move that bucket, and the bucket didn't make sense to be there, and I really hated the bucket. I think this is me looking for something to put in that hallway. That little hallway is really impossible to use if you leave that part of the layout the same, and I did because it's what felt like it made the most sense. Also, I'm sure Medina Studio just refers to the building. Not a single apartment in that building is set up as a studio by default, and I think it's really odd that Penny Pizzazz's apartment is a studio and Salim's is not, even though his is smaller. Why did his space get broken up weird like that? It's a 9x9 apartment. That's a bedroom in some people's builds, depending on what type of build you're making. Like, I think the original land grab house had bigger bedrooms than that. Why would you make it like a little sectioned off one? I feel like they should have swapped that around. But we are cluttering up the bathroom, adding that last toilet. We're almost done with the build. Again, real fast one. I did it real last minute, and it kind of just naturally came together for me, which I love when that happens. But I have plants everywhere I could. I used a lot of black metal. I used a lot of warm-toned wood. And I put lighting under those shelves, and I really like that I did that. I think it was very cozy. I'm trying to get past just using those saucer lights and nothing else, so I have been adding lights other places every now and then. Like, I use the light bulbs from Laundry Day above the counter, and I use that City Living like wall art light above the TV. I tried using something other than just a saucer in the bedroom. I didn't like it, so I put it back. But yeah, that being said, this is your bedroom, and you're gonna have your living room here. I really like this living room, actually. And then there is our kitchen, and that is your final tour of the build. I hope you had a great one. I have this on the gallery if you ever want to play with it. And thanks for gaming with me, baby. Bye.